Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Last week, Forbes magazine revealed that the richest pastors in the world are Nigerians. And sitting atop the list is Bishop, with an estimated worth of $150 million. Reuters also examined this phenomenon in a recent article stating mega churches form a huge untaxed sector in Africa's top economy. This calls to question a burning issue. Should Nigerian churches or even religious entities pay taxes? It's your view, let it count. You can call us on 070-806-68014 or you could tweet to us at YourViewTVC. Let's not focus on churches because it's not only churches that are religious. We have the Muslims too, so they don't pay taxes either. So we're going to look at both groups, and also NGOs don't pay taxes either. So we need to understand why these rules were there in the why don't they pay taxes first, and what do we think they ought to pay taxes? So who wants to take the first shot?
I don't think churches should pay taxes, but I do believe that pastors should pay taxes. Why? Is because the church benefits the community, so even NGOs and the mosques as well. It is there for the community. It helps in development, you know. But for pastors, being a pastor is a job, and if you have a job, you should pay tax.
If you're a full-time pastor and you don't have any other job, I mean, it's the church that is giving you. So you're saying that, yeah, of course, you can pay your own personal tax, but we're talking about the church now as an entity, or the mosque as an entity. Should they, as a mosque, pay taxes?
There's a reason for the exemption from taxes for religious bodies, and it's not as of right. Now, to address exactly what the bishop said that brought, when I read the topic, he said, because he generates his light. For me, he generates his water. He does his roads. That is what every average Nigerian does, and it's not a right for him to be exempted from tax. It's just a privilege. As a body, when you make profit to a certain extent, it shouldn't be a matter of, I don't want to. It shouldn't be something you now talk about in a way that gives you a right to make certain comments. He makes profit in his church. We know that, to the extent that he's extremely rich, and he said he's blessed. But you shouldn't come out to people to say, for what reason? Because I generate my light, does it exempt me from, I generate my power, I generate my water, does it exempt me from tax? No,
but the question also is that these religious bodies get offered. Do you guys pay offerings in the mosque?
No.
How does the imam?
We don't do tithes. We don't do, what we do, he waits for what he gets. It's like, someone could see his position. He's not entitled to a salary as such. It's not like a constitution or a thing that makes us pay tithes. It is a free giving. We have what we call zakat, and it is a way to balance the wealth. You take from the rich and you distribute to the poor. That is the way it is.
So for your own entity, which is a Muslim, the imam is there, and if you see your imam that he doesn't have a car, he doesn't have anything, you can decide to bless him with that. But there's no money that comes to the mosque that he says, okay, the percentage belongs to.
He's in control of it.
Okay, no problem. So now, the reasons the churches have given, or even the U.S. Constitution has given, that is there's a separation between church and state, where the government should not get involved in anything that has to do with the churches. That's really the origin of this separation, and it's because the churches actually use their revenue to impact the society. They are building churches. I mean, they are building schools. They are helping out the communities. They are rehabilitating people. So the thing is that, if they're doing all this communal, they're actually helping the government. So why would you not tax? It's like paying double taxing. What the government is supposed to be doing, we're doing it for them already, and I want taxes again. So what's your thoughts?
For me, Mariah, because you just made a very strong point, which I want to hold on to. Churches should not pay tax as a body.
Yes.
But you see, however, we have churches that they have done so many things. They have other business arms. They have schools, they have universities, they have, which people pay school fees. Do you understand? Those people should pay taxes. And for the pastors, their intellectual, products, like their tapes, their books and all that, those things should be taxed. As the church body, I would say, okay, probably they are offering. They shouldn't, because ideally they even pay they pay tithes to bigger churches.
Yes.
And most times when there is problem, like we know now we are donating something for a relief for cases of Ebola in Liberia and all that. We do all of those things. So for me, I think the church as a body should not pay. Pastors should pay their tithe because they are collecting salaries, their tax. The church intellectual properties should be taxed.
Let me throw this dart into the whole thing, because originally in the old days, churches were receiving a very minimal amount of money and were using what they have to affect people. But today, they're receiving multi-millions.
Private jets.
They're receiving private jets. They're receiving like cars, Rolls Royces and XYZ.
Actually,
now,
Mariah,
so it's different now and then.
Mariah, when churches, there's a difference in giving it to a pastor and giving it to churches. The churches I know these days, most of them give it to the pastors and not to the churches. I support what Owa said, that the church should not pay tax. But if you have a school or other businesses that is affiliated to the church,
the pastor, because if the church, if pastor is going, if pastor says, listen, I want to make the point. If the pastor says, this jet that you're giving to me, I want to go use to evangelize, is not part of the church's project. So that's the point I'm trying to make. Are you saying that we should make them pay taxes?
However, let me change this dynamic, whatever story. You know, now I'm a Christian and I love God to death. But you see, there are loads of churches right now that they're just business entities.
Exactly.
Do you understand? They don't have any impact in the society. They are not doing any road. They are not built. Because I know my church, we do a lot of things. We build schools. We do a lot of communal work. But there are some churches that don't have any link to any project.
Are you saying
those kind of churches should pay tax?
So are you saying that we should reevaluate?
Yes, we should how every church.
Let me say
Let us see the work you're doing. Because if a church is not, influencing the society, their community, and all that, they should pay tax.
What you're saying is relative. Do you understand it's relative?
No.
Look,
I want to take Nima. I want to take Nima up first. What she said is a bit relative, because if one church in Shugban Street, and they're making 100,000 naira in a month, so 100,000 naira, and one church in Lekki is making 100 million. Now, are you saying that, because this one is not making any major impact in the society, this one that is will not pay tax, and this one must pay tax?
No, it's not the money.
Let me build on what she's saying.
Okay, let me let them.
The reason why this privilege exemption is in place is because they are supposed to be taking part in so much charities and developing the society, not just the church environment. Looking at this church in context now that we're talking about, you're building roads within your church premises and expanding your ministry within a particular location that is yours.
You're not doing anything around the environment.
Now you're making a good point.
Our government should even evaluate. We shouldn't leave
every church should be evaluated.
We should be able to all religions. We should be able to access what they make every year.
Let me take you up on that. Let me take you up on that. The reason why a pastor would probably expand is because more people are coming every day. Do you want them to sit on the streets? Right? You need a bigger church to accommodate the amount of people coming in. Yes. So you cannot stop me from expanding my church.
No, we are not stopping.
However, because you have a big church, you always assume that I am not taking care of my community.
That expansion does not now make you entitled to this privilege we are talking about. Because it is within your business.
Let me take Bolasco. Good morning, Bola. Are you there?
Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. I like your program.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate the topic you are saying now. The problem is this. We don't need to beat about the bush over this issue. Jesus Christ himself, who is the leader of the churches in the whole world, has set an example by leading. When the Pharisees went to him, they approached him to pay tax. What did he do?
Give out to Caesar.
He told one of the disciples to go to the sea, catch a fish, cut the fish, whatever you find inside it, you should use it to pay the tax. You pay tax. Jesus Christ pay tax. So why is churches not paying tax?
Jesus Christ did not have a church.
Because he said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar, and to God what is God.
All right. Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ did not have a church.
Exactly.
He did not have a church. It was so let us assume Jesus Christ was a pastor. That's what I'm saying. Pastors should pay tax. Listen, Morayo, NGOs are exempted from taxes because of the number of work they do for the society.
Well, so they are profit making these days.
That's what we are saying.
Some of them are actually making money for
Most
themselves.
people now
In the
open
UK,
NGOs because they want to enrich themselves. They are not opening NGOs because they are passionate about what they really want to do.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm saying this is where the work of the government comes into play. If you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as an entity, then you don't have any excuse not to pay your tax.
Well, let me build on what you just said. Apart from doing what you're not supposed to be doing, there should be a limit to the amount of profit. We should be able to assess every year what you make. And that's once you exceed that, that's what they do in the UK. That's what they do.
You can't limit. If I make this,
these churches have left the UK now. Because you know, there's people are now looking into how much money they're making.
Let me have a bishop on the phone. Good morning, Bishop.
Yeah,
I hope the bishop are talking about. So.
No. It's not his voice.
Good morning,
I'm
go
a
ahead.
first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
The Bible says that whatever we do, that we are going to be judged. So I would like to say that there are people who are making expense out of their congregation. I want to support one of the speakers who said, churches that run schools, that have business enterprise. There are several churches that are involved in several businesses.
Yes.
Some of them are even involved in crude oil.
Yes.
Some people should be taxed.
All right.
They should be taxed.
Thank you very much. I think
But churches should not be taxed.
Okay, so the religious entity of it, the fact that you come to church, you give your offering, that offering money, that tithe money should not be taxed. But when you now use that tithe to build a school, that school should pay tax. That what you're saying?
Of course now. Of course.
I have a filling station within your business.
Some people have, some churches are, there's big time real estate.
It doesn't concern.
Well, see, I think we're just scared
concern
of the money these churches are making.
No.
Because
NGOs are also taking advantage. My own point is not whether it is, when somebody is taking advantage, I benefited from Catholic generosity. Because, you know, that exemption from taxes, wait, let me finish. That exemption from taxes is justified to me. Because when they take money, they always, there's a Catholic church right now. I went to a public school that had taken over by government, but we had a lot of benefits. Our books and all those things were being given to us free. It wasn't like, you know, I had to be a member of the church
God bless you
to benefit for it. I didn't have to be a member of the church. I wasn't a Christian.
Good morning. Are you there?
I'm there with you.
Go ahead. Thanks for calling.
This is the first-time caller.
Yay!
That's our first-time callers.
Okay, I just feel I should contribute to this thing. You see, when we were talking about the churches, like in the missions before, there were people who are bringing a lot of development to the society. But now you see, if you go to CAC in Nigeria, you see some of these individuals, a wife and the husband, they will go and register a personal church. The pastor is the director, the wife is the treasurer. This is their personal businesses. And then they continue to float it, collect money. You see small individuals open business entities they call churches, where they are making more money. They are opening pure water factories. They are opening a lot of businesses for themselves. And they are enriching themselves. And you see, like what we have about Matthew Ashinowo, of CIC or something. KSCC. When he took that they were doing in Nigeria to United Kingdom, the church was taken over from him. They put in administrators who decided to check in what they are doing in the church, and they controlled it. They controlled it. They make sure that they started paying him. When he was collecting tithes and all that, they told him this is UK, not Nigeria, where everything goes.
All right.
They have to collect it from him, and they put administrators there to manage the
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Let's take some tweets.
Okay, right. Okay. Good morning. Oh, this is not me. The Bible said, that's from Paul Umar Joshua, says, the Bible said, obey the authority. If the government say pay tax, it would be a sin if the church don't pay. Bishop, Ibukun Dapo says, Bishop Oyedepo does several roads all around Lagos and most especially in Ogun State. People can testify of this. Yes. He's a thinker.
Nima, I hope you heard that one.
Yemi says they should be taxed. The churches are private entities. The church is registered to a name. all the properties belongs to
All right.
question mark.
On that note, we need to end the segment because we have.
I wanted to
we
just
have to move on.
okay.
Because we're still going to make this a hot topic because it's still hot. This is news on a Catholic church.
That's
Saying that
I
they
would
want
have
to
loved
do.
to take on.
Go ahead.
Sam says churches should pay tax by all means. David Oyedepo is $50 million richer than Jonathan. Churches is the fastest growing
And that's the kind of
business
thing you
in
want to
Nigeria.
take.
Of
Anyway,
course now.
on that note, we end this segment. When we come back, we remember the life and legacy of Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Stay with us. We'll be right back.